Right, welcome on my channel, welcome on my page, YouTube page. Right, as I talk to you now, I'm in Harare, Zimbabwe, the capital city of Zimbabwe. And I just heard some news. I just heard some news from the Zimbabwean National Parliament. The Minister of Transport and Infrastructure Development, Mr. Felix Mona, said something in Parliament yesterday to do with the Zimbabwean companies that get awarded road development or road rehabilitation, road construction or road engineering projects, but they never finish, they never complete, they never do the proper job. So you are saying, no, we're going to do away with such kind of companies, construction companies or construction and engineering companies in Zimbabwe. So this is the news that I got, and I'm just relaying to you, conveying to you, or telling you on some of the things that are happening in Zimbabwe, Harare, Zimbabwe, where I'm addressing you from, where I'm talking to you from. So the minister was responding to questions or answering, replying to questions in National Parliament, Zimbabwean National Parliament, when one of the legislators asked, like, what is going to happen to the roads that span the entire country that are not finished, roads that span the whole country that are not finished, that are not complete? What's going to happen to them? Then point number two, what's going to happen to the contractors or companies, service providers that have not been paid for their work? Some of the good companies, good uh, contractors that did the job, but they were never paid by the government via or through the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure Development. What is going to happen to them? These service providers or these companies, these contractors, what's going to happen to them in terms of their payment? When are they going to get their money? When are they going to get their financial payment? So the minister said, we are aware about that. We are aware of that issue, and we are going to engage directly with those contractors. We are going to engage directly with those companies, and we're going to find a way, of course, a different way to address that issue. But we are aware of the money that we owe them as a ministry, or as a ministry under the Zimbabwe government, led by Dr. Edim Nangago. We are aware about this issue, and we are going to engage them differently and make sure that we pay them up all the money that we owe them. Then he raised another point. This minister, Mr. Felix Mona, raised another point that we've noticed that these companies, these contractors in Zimbabwe, after giving them tenders to do projects, either roads or bridges or dams, they don't do a proper job. They don't do a proper work. They don't finish the work. They don't complete the projects in a good way, in a much satisfactory way. They don't do that, but they are just after the money. They're just after the payment. So he said that now, as a new law, as a new policy, as a new directive, no company is going to do work in Zimbabwe, either a road or a bridge or a dam, whatever project in Zimbabwe, for the Zimbabwean government, without using their own resources. These companies or contractors, they have to use their own resources. They have to use their own assets whenever they get awarded a tender or a contract for whatever construction work, whatever engineering work, whatever project that needs to be done in the country, in whatever district or in whatever province. These companies, these contractors, it's now a new law, a new policy in Zimbabwe that contractors or companies must come up front and use their own resources, use their own assets, or provide what is called upfront funding, provide what is called upfront funding after they get awarded a contract, after they get awarded a tender in Zimbabwe under the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructural Development. So this is the new law, this is the new policy, this is the new directive when it comes to road construction, when it comes to road engineering, when it comes to road rehabilitation, road development in Zimbabwe. Any company, any contractor, first of all, after getting a tender, after getting a contract, you have to provide what is called upfront funding. Then point number two, you have to use your own resources, you have to use your own assets. And later on, after communication with the Ministry of Transport, then you get your money back, you get your payment as a service provider. So these are the new updates, these are the new developments as happening in Zimbabwe. So the Minister of Transport and Infrastructure Development, Mr. Felix Mona, was saying, no, some of the Zimbabwean companies, of course, we want to support their business, we want to support them as we know that there are local companies, local contractors, but whenever they get tenders, whenever they get contracts to work on a project, to work on whatever issue, they don't do a proper job, they don't finish the work, they don't finish the project, they don't finish the contract that they were given by the Ministry of Transport. It may be a road, it may be a bridge, it may be a dam, or it may be whatever road development work, whatever road rehabilitation work, but they don't do a proper job. That was his issue from his heart as he was explaining and talking in a national parliament session yesterday at the new parliament building in Harare. That no, I've got a problem, I've got an issue with the companies in Zimbabwe, contractors in Zimbabwe. This road construction enterprise in Zimbabwe got an issue. We give them tenders, we give them jobs, we give them projects to do, but they don't finish in a good way. They don't work them out in a proper way. They don't complete them in a much satisfactory way that brings good satisfaction to the eyes of the Minister of Transport, the one who gave them the work or the project or the tender or the contract. And now there are new rules, new regulations, new policies in place, like what I've said earlier on, that any company, any contractor, any business in this construction sector, you have to provide your own upfront funding. You have to use your own resources. You have to use your own assets. Whenever you get awarded a contract, whenever you get awarded a job, a tender, in whatever province or district in Zimbabwe to work on by the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure Development. This is according to the words or from the statements of the minister himself, Mr. Felix Mona. And I'm just telling you what I read, what I heard, what I researched on. And I'm just supplying you, conveying, relaying this information or message to you. Right. I think I'm done talking. When I was narrating this issue, what came to your mind or head? What are your comments on this issue? I'm done talking. What do you say about this issue? Coming from the Minister of Transport in Zimbabwe by the name Mr. Felix Mona. What do you say? What are your comments? What are your views? What are your opinions on what I've said? What are your submissions? What are your standpoints or viewpoints on what I've said? Especially, what are your thoughts on what I've said in this video? Everything from the companies to the complaints to the queries to the roads to projects or tenders or contracts to the new developments or new policies that have been effected, new regulations or new rules that have been developed by the same Minister of Transport, by the same minister himself, of course, by his delegation or entourage. What do you say about the whole thing that I said in this video? Write, type, drop your comments in the comments box, in the comment section. I'll come and check them out. I'll come and see them out. Let's talk further from there. Let's discuss further from there. This issue of Zimbabwean companies not doing a proper job, not finishing the work, not finishing the project, not completing the work or completing the project that they get given or they were given by the Ministry of Transport via the minister himself, Mr. Felix Mona and his team, or Mr. Felix Mona and his delegation. I'm done talking. Sharp.